Hello, and here we are, chapter 9 of Think and Grow Rich. I'm super excited to bring you kind of the recap on this. I hope and pray that you're getting a lot out of this series because I really enjoy bringing it to you. But also, I really think that it could bring a lot into your life if you just kind of, purchase the book and then just kind of put things into action for yourself. Chapter 9 has to do with the 8th step for thinking and growing rich, and that is persistence and having a sustained effort to induce faith. This is, like I said, the 8th step, and persistence is an essential factor in life in order to get your desire moved into its actual monetary or material equivalent, whatever it is that you're looking to get. The basis of persistence is willpower. And willpower and desire, when you pair them together, are irresistible. Many people who might be called cold-blooded or bitchy are oftentimes just misunderstood because what they really have is willpower. And then when you mix that with persistence, they have a strong desire to attain their objectives and their desires. This does not mean that you push people aside to get what you want, or you make people feel small in order to get you there. It just means that these particular people are willing to put their plan into action and fail and fail and fail if necessary and start all over again, because they're not going to stop. And they're certainly not going to stop several feet of their gold discovery. If you remember in the first part of the book, Napoleon Hill speaks of a man who had purchased all this equipment in order to strike gold, and he literally stops 3 feet short of that gold discovery. And the importance of that is that, he had the desire, obviously, initially, but he didn't have the persistence to keep going and to do a little bit of checking to make sure he was even digging in the right direction. So, just a few short months later, another man comes along. He buys the equipment from him and does a little bit of scientific studying and finds out that he was 3 feet short, just had to go just a little different direction. And so that was a lack of persistence and a lack of just kind of basic knowledge as far as getting to where the gold really was. So why most people fail has to do with persistence. It is a weakness very common to the majority of people. However, it can be overcome by simply making an effort to ease into what you can conquer. So this depends on your intensity of your desire, because remember, the starting point of all your achievement is always desire for that achievement. And I love this particular quote from the book. Weak desires bring weak results. Just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat. If you find yourself lacking in persistence, this weakness may be remedied by building a stronger fire under your desire. Isn't that just awesome? It's a great quote. So when you're persistent, you will get success. There's no substitute for persistence. Persistence is based on specific causes. So I think this is important to point out from the book. First is definiteness of purpose. So in other words, knowing what you want is first and foremost, and that very important step towards development of persistence. And so that was last chapter 8's video about that from Saturday. And then desire is number 2. It's pretty easy to acquire and maintain persistence when it's the object of your intense desire. The third is self-reliance. It's the belief in your own ability to carry out a plan which encourages you to follow the plan through your own persistence. Definiteness of plan is basically where you have an organized plan, even if it might be weak and impractical. It does encourage persistence. The 5th is accurate knowledge. It's basically making sure that you have your plan sound and based on experience or observation, not just guessing, but you actually have to know that that's what your knowledge is. And then the 6th is cooperation, having others who are sympathetic, understanding, and harmonious that are in cooperation with you. 7 is willpower, is the habit of concentrating your thoughts upon building on your plans for your purpose. That also leads to persistence. And then lastly, habit, because persistence is the direct result of your habits. So just like, working out, it takes habit to establish the getting into your car and going to the gym, and then persistence to stick with it, right? And so persistence is the direct result of that habit that you built up. Now, you might be asking how to develop persistence because there are 4 simple steps, according to Napoleon Hill, that they don't require a certain amount of intelligence or education, even just time and effort. So I know you may be thinking, oh my gosh, Erica, I don't have time. But first of all, you want to have a definite purpose backed by your burning desire to fill it. Second, you need to have a plan expressed with continuous action. Third is you need a mind that is closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. That would be negative friends, relatives, acquaintances, spouses, etc. Because you want to, as the 4th part, and that is to have an alliance with someone or people who are encouraging you to follow through with your plan and your purpose. These are essential for success in all parts of your life. So there's 4 steps that all lead and convert these dreams into the physical reality, but also they can lead to mastering your fears. They can lead to mastering discouragement and then encourage you. And they could also lead you to mastering indifference. Napoleon Hill writes that if you can master these 4 steps, you essentially are writing your own ticket and making life yield whatever you want. So that being said, this is the conclusion of chapter 9. And I think that it's going to be a great segue into our next chapter, of course, because he wrote it very well. But I'm super excited to bring this series to you, like I said before. So please like, subscribe, hit the little bell so that every time I upload a new video, you get a instantaneous message in YouTube that lets you know it's there. And again, I hope you're enjoying the videos and the summary of Think and Grow Rich. Make it a great one.